Okay then, buddy, so we take a look here at the setup. You can see on this left-hand one now, as you sort of bring your right arm in, I think an attempt to probably try and weaken the grip, which in your mind is going to probably reduce the flick. You can see your right elbow now kind of pushing forward there, getting that sort of elbow pad sitting backwards here, gets that right shoulder quite high, gets your shoulders a little bit open now. So because that club's about to go back in that setup, you've definitely got a high right shoulder, pointing out right elbow, and the shoulders obviously aiming left. Now because of that, as that club goes back, you normally would see obviously a worse golfer, their elbow would sort of pop out this way and sort of get a flying right elbow. You sort of fold it and bend it in, but as a result of that now, that's going to get that club whipping a little bit on the flatter inside, and the club face now getting a little bit laid off here. Now you've got to start lifting the arms up to compensate. And again, because of that high right shoulder, it's harder for you to rotate. So the club now is a little bit sort of laid off here now. As you're going back, not really getting so much depth with your hands there. Hands coming out a little bit steep. As you start coming back into the golf ball here, we've got a steepish angle of attack with a face that's going to be slightly open. The recipe for that is over there. All you can do now is literally just flick your hands and just hope for the best and square that club face up. When your timing's on, it's awesome. When your timing's off, it's not quite as good. So you're looking at setup. Let me get the start of this in now. Bring your right arm in from this position. So your left shoulder, left hand, left hip, everything on your left side just feels higher. After all, your left hand's on the club higher than your right hand would be. So therefore, your left side needs to be higher. Get that right shoulder down. So open up that right pad of your elbow. So your right elbow is kind of pointing, I guess the inside part of your elbow is pointing out this way. And then we can rotate that grip round. But getting into a setup now where your shoulders are squarer to target. If we look at comparison here, the biggest thing now is going to be, see, as you said, you can see a certain body part. There's much more spacing here. This shoulder's back rather than this shoulder kind of being forward and tucked up. So what you're going to find, as we said, you'll be cursing my name the next few games of golf because you'll be hooking it, because that club face now is going to go back a bit stronger. Your elbow can fold a bit better. You can get a little bit more depth in your backswing with your right side. It's going to be more of a feeling of getting that club working back more with the right hip and right shoulder, getting the club back as you come back to golf ball now. The flick will still probably be there, okay? But you're going to try to stop flicking it once that ball starts going that way. You're not going to stop flicking it if the ball's going high right. So you can see on this one here now, that ball started more right at target, stayed there a little bit. You hung on to it a smidgen more than you'd probably want. But in the past, when you would have held on to that, that would have just leaked out over here and been lost ball out to the right. So main thing is set up, get that right shoulder kind of back and under, get that right elbow joint sort of popping outwards this way, and then you can rotate your right hand on it. It's going to get the sensation your right side can kind of turn and get out of the way a lot easier. Get that club stronger and flatter. It means the flick will not need to occur. Back down at the golf ball, which is why your driver is so much better, because as you said, the driver setup felt very similar to what you're getting into there. So hope that makes sense, buddy. Any questions, obviously give me a shout, but I'll catch you soon. Cheers, man.